Hi, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Jewett. I was going to go over our lesson 6 planning for our writing piece for today. It is a retell of The Milk. Fictional narrative planning. We are going to be working on a writing project. When we write, we go through different steps. This is called the writing process. The writing process has 4 steps. We're going to plan. That's what we're going to do today. There's also draft, edit, and publish. Writing, much like your spelling words this week, write is the root word of writing. So you'll see the word write. They dropped the magic E to add ing, but there is our base word or root word. The writing process. Even authors of your favorite books use steps like these when they wrote their books. You will use this chart whenever we have writing lessons. So Mrs. Jute will refer to this. I have it posted in the classroom, and I will be referring to it throughout our entire process, and so where your teachers will be. Let's take a look at our writing process chart. What is the first step in the writing process? Let's look. The writing process plan. What do you think it means? I think it means to come up with ideas before we turn it into sentences and actually draft a paragraph. So we're at the planning stage. The first step in the writing process, this is what you do before you write. You plan. It's the pre-step. It's jotting down notes, almost more in a list form rather than in complete sentences. Today, we will be working on the first step in the writing process, plan. Before you begin writing, you have to think about the topic you are writing about and brainstorm ideas. Draft, the second step in the writing process. This is when we write. So this is when we take our plan and we turn it into complete sentences. We indent, we check for uppercase letters and periods, topic, sentence, conclusion. So we want to make sure we have all of those pieces or beginning and end. Drafting is when we write our ideas down on paper. The third step in the writing process, this is when we reread and fix any mistakes. So this is when we edit. We check for grammatical errors. We look for punctuation, capitalization, wording. Does it make sense? Did we add all the details that we wanted to? So this is the edit step. Let's review these steps one more time. The writing process, plan. Everybody say plan in their head. Draft, edit, and finally publish. This unit's reader includes many stories. We're going to be reading a story from Bedtime Tales. Let's review the elements of a story also. The title, the name of the story, characters, the people or animals in the story, setting, where the story takes place and when, plot, the problem and the events in the story. Today, we will use our planning template to retell the story, The Milk. I will reread The Milk aloud. Pay attention to the title, characters, setting, and beginning, middle, and end so that we can develop the plot of the story on our planning page. Okay, I'm going to reread The Milk. So I'm going to go over to my dock camera. Hold on one moment. Make this small for just a minute. And I'm turning to the story, The Milk. The Milk, it's on page 8. We read this already. This is a reread. The Milk. Mike's dad was getting set to tell a bedtime tale. He said, "The name of this bedtime tale is The Milk." Once upon a time, a lass named Jane set off from home to sell a bucket of milk. As she went, she was thinking of the cash she would get from selling the milk. "I have big plans. I will sell this milk," she said, "and I will use the cash to get a hen. I hope my hen will make lots of eggs. Then I will sell those eggs and use the cash to get a cute piglet. I will take care of the piglet and let him munch on big slop till he gets nice and plump. Then I will sell the pig and get a nice dress that I can dance in. And but just as she was thinking of the dress, she tripped on a stone, and the bucket fell with a crash. The milk splashed on the path. Jane made a face and fumed at the spilled milk. The moral of the story, take one step at a time. I'm going to go back to my slideshow, but we're going to be working on using the story The Milk to complete 6.1. So if you want to get that out and ready, at the bottom it is page 31. There we go. Sorry about that. We've been watching some Halloween movies at the end of the day prior to this. Let's complete each section of the template together as a class. First, we're going to talk about the characters. Think about the characters in the story. Jane was a character, and let's think a little bit about her. Jane has big dreams. She has big plans. Let's get that on our template. So now I'm going to go back to my template. Her character, Jane. And then I might want to just write some details to remember. Big dreams. Has plans for the future. So that's just a little bit of detail about my character. I'm going to be looking at the setting. So let's go back to our other document and our other slideshow and kind of get ready to talk about the setting. So now I want you to think about where and when does the story take place in the milk? Okay, it took place a long time ago. This isn't recent. It was outside. It looked like it was a farm or a road from the picture clues. So let's get that idea on our paper. A long time ago, outside, farm, road. So our setting is long time ago. And I'm going to use little dots. Those are called bullets. They're used for listing ideas. Took place outside. Farm or road. So far we've covered the setting, and the characters. The beginning of the story. Let's think back to what happened in the beginning. Jane puts milk in a bucket to sell. So that's what happened in the beginning of the story. Let's get that down. Milk in a bucket to sell. And again, you might need to pause this because you might need a moment to get that down on your paper. Okay, so far we've covered the character, the setting, the beginning. Now I'm going to be thinking about what happened in the middle of the story. She had so many big dreams. She was thinking about all those things that she was going to do, buy a hen, and then she was going to, what she was going to do with to get the eggs and then sell them and get a dress. So that's our middle. That's all the center of the story, the middle. So Jane makes lots of plans to use the cash from selling milk. And again, when we do our rewrite in our draft, we're going to add the details. But let's get that down. Jane makes lots of plans to use cash from selling the milk. Remember, she was going to get the hen and then get eggs and then sell the eggs and get the dress. So she had lots of plans. Okay, I'm going to pause it again. The last piece we're going to work on is the end. So I want you to think about how this story ended. And hold on, let me go back to my other one. I was writing and forgot to flip. But again, Jane makes lots of plans to use cash from selling the milk. You might want to pause it here to get that on your 6.1. I'll count to 10, but I'm sure you might need a little bit more time, so you might want to pause the video. Okay, and now I'm going to my ending. I'll remember to flip back and forth this time. So at the end of the story, she's thinking and thinking and thinking, and then the milk falls and all her dreams are crushed. Jane spills the milk and she doesn't get any cash. And I think the moral of the story is, I think it said in the book, take one step at a time, but it also says, don't spend your money before you get it. So I'm going to go back to my other document. Let's get our ending down. Jane spills the milk and doesn't get any cash. And I remember it said in the book, the moral of the story, I think, was take one step at a time, which kind of correlates or goes with don't spend your money before you get it. It's important, again, that you really focus on the task, what you're doing at that time. So again, you might need to pause this and make sure you have this all down on your paper, but we did our character, the setting, the beginning, middle, and end. So this is our planning page, and we're going to be drafting a retell of the milk this week. Things we practiced, and again, one of the main things that we did was the retell, the planning page of the milk. So again, look back at my document right here. Let me go back to it again. Make sure you have this. The goal of today was to make our plan. Just wanted to make sure I didn't have anything left in that slideshow to go over. You did a great job, boys and girls. I can't wait to see your packet or your book.